Okay, that took, sorry. Ugh. Hello there, it is Sunday, you know what that means. Welcome on in, my name is Kira Kennedy. We are live with Pokemon Violet. We're doing some shiny hunting. Sorry it took so long to get things started there. I, had to run down and help with some errands real quick. Very last minute. How y'all doing? So we got an Inkay outbreak nearby. Let's go ahead and take care of that. And then we'll... Actually, I can probably do most of this work from that island. Not have to worry about too much. How's everyone else doing today? Look, yesterday, the AEW show was great, first of all. Second of all, I don't know what was the second of all, but anyways. Yeah, today was kind of a lot going on today. So we're just gonna knock out a bunch of stuff. One, I've lost count already. Just all over the place today. So, still trying to look for a marked shiny Inkay. Excuse me. And we're just kind of figuring it out from there. I know Tepig is technically... I think I also have a Tepig outbreak today, but... we might have had one. I was resetting for outbreaks, so... things are a little... That's really the best I can say. Things are a little... I'm all over the place and you just can't think straight. But I was streaming today, so... we're doing that. How's everyone else doing today, by the way? Not, okay, good. We're not fighting too much with the audio. How's everything on the TikTok side of things is fine. So the good news is, because of the location of this Inkay outbreak, I can actually set up the table relatively easily and still be within range to see basically everything. Also, it's damn decent of some of these Pokemon to not try to attack me while I'm using the Synchro Machine. Also, yes, my throat is just basically fucked from yesterday. There were a lot of... alright, so that is 26 then. 27. 28. 29. 30. So we're halfway there now. We need to get to 60. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Okay, I wonder what would happen if I would use Suicune for this. That's something we'll figure out later, I think. Because I know Suicune can technically walk on water. Part of its thing is like you can purify any body of water it touches. And I lost count again. So I gotta wait till I hit 51 then to know how close I am to hitting that magic number. Because with outbreak hunting, the idea is you want to get to 60, anywhere between 60 and 60 Pokemon knocked out and 100, which basically ends the outbreak, is kind of the sweet spot for your best shiny odds. But yeah, yesterday at the show, there were some returns and debuts where I basically blew my voice out. But yeah, it was a fun time. It was a fun time at the show. And I was actually significantly closer to the action than I was when I... Okay, so that's 51. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Excuse me. 7. 8. 2 more. 59. 60. Alright, there we go. We're at 60 now. So, put this in here. Make... Oh shit, did I... I don't know if I have any, smoked fillets. Alright, let's check that real fast. If I don't have smoked fillets, I'm gonna have to fly to, Cascarapa or something. Actually, I could probably just get away with one Mesa Gosa. Alright, so 1 cucumber, 1 pickle, smoked fillets. I only have 2 smoked fillets. Damn. Alright. I gotta make a quick detour back to Mesa Gosa because I did not think to check my groceries before I fucking... So, Laventia, I could probably get them at Delicioso. And there's one right next to the Northern Pokemon Center. I think it's Delicioso I can get them at. That's Shurikens. That's not Delicioso. Fuck it, let's check Shurikens. Bye. Nope. What about Acquiesce? Acquiesce might have it. Maybe not. I do have regular onions though, so I could make a psychic sandwich. So we'll do 21 of these. And just in case, I'm gonna quickly zoom over to Delicioso, which is on the southern side of Laventia. Yeah, I kind of find it funny with these ads. Sprigatito's the only one that's its first stage evolution. The other ones are Crocolore and Quaxwell, which are the second stage evolutions. So Artisan Bakery probably won't have any. Probably won't have the fillets I need. Yeah. So Artisan Bakery doesn't have it. Delicioso, I think, is the one that will have it. Prosciutto, which is used for fighting sandwich. I'm gonna get like 20 of these. Actually, let's bulk buy. Red onions, I got enough of those, so I'm good. I get 19 of these. And that should do. Cash. Alright. I'm gonna go back to Blueberry Academy. I swear I saw a Tepe break today, but that might have been when I was resetting for like the stuff I was looking for. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Make sure we have... Nope. Oh yeah, this is the team I was working on. Excuse me. Alright, so we need Bob Ross, and we need Iron Valiant. So this is actually... Who put that cat there? Also, whose cat? Whose cat is this? So this is where the outbreak is. But here is where I can save and set a picnic table. Since I saved, now I can reset if I fuck up the sandwich. Sandwich. Creative mode. 1 cucumber, 1 pickle. I'm gonna try the onions first, because I'm pretty sure regular white onions gets me psychic sandwich. Go 2 salty herba. Yeah, the other thing I had to do before I started on the YouTube side of things was I had to reset. I had to log in and log out of Stream Elements for a sec just to get it to work properly. I think sometime before Thursday's stream, I got to uninstall and reinstall OBS. Because for some reason, it's getting me this weird error when I try to load up where it's saying it didn't close properly. Also, this was the shirt I got at the show yesterday. Nothing but the best for my world champion. Hangman Adam Page. Alright, so it is psychic. That's good. So. Makes it a little easier to focus on. A little easier to focus on Inkay. I don't think there's that many dark types, but if I really wanted to, like, okay, I mean, there's Esper here, unfortunately, but outside of the Esper and Meowstic that show up, I can actually also just, if I wanted to, I could actually isolate Inkay throughout, like, the water here. To take a step forward, now is the right time. And honestly, like, I could probably even, if I wanted to, I could probably also, I could also probably use the Dark Sound, which would have better isolated. I mean, I think Grimer would still show up here. Now it's frozen, so I can't even see. A disappointment, I had it perfectly. I was going to bring up suddenly. Thank you very much for the likes, Liam. I appreciate it. But yeah, I don't want to talk too. I don't know if I want to talk too much about the AEW show, but it was like I said, it was fun. I've always kind of been very big on saying, like, experiencing. It's kind of the same with any sport, even, or any kind of concert or whatever, any kind of live performance. It's always a completely different experience watching it in person than it is. Sorry, I have to open my window. It's always a completely different experience when you're there versus like when you're watching it on TV or something. Especially like with the amount of surprise returns and debuts that happened at that show. Well, okay, only one debut happened, but there were a lot of big returns. It's actually funny that one of the big returns actually coincided with a face turner, someone who turned to a good guy that had actually turned heel in the exact same building 2 years ago. That was fun watching Jack Perry have a face turn in the same building he turned heel in. Yeah, because one of the returns besides Jungle Boy returning was actually his partner Luchasaurus, who'd been out since last year with double pneumonia because he had double pneumonia last year. I think technically he made his return at Forbidden Door in England a couple months ago, or about a month ago or so. Yeah, I still think I don't know what I'm saying. What was I gonna say? I know technically, yeah, he did return at Forbidden Door to help, because he was originally teaming with Kip Sabian to take on Cope and Christian, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. But that was just because Kip Sabian's normal partner, Nick Wayne, he fucked up his ankle or something. He basically wasn't cleared to wrestle. So Luchasaurus had come back then, but this was kind of his full-time return, I guess, which I appreciate. Like I loved Jurassic Express, which was the tag team name for Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. The only thing I wish was if their other partner, Marco Stunt, would have been back, but apparently he retired from wrestling, which... I mean, to be honest, I really don't like Marco Stunt because I like watching him get thrown around the ring. Because there's some wrestlers who are very good at just getting thrown around like a freaking ragdoll, and best way I can describe it is like their whole purpose is to make other wrestlers look like monsters. Just like these absolute fucking beasts that could just throw people around the ring. That's kind of... I know there's gonna be... I feel there's gonna be some people gonna be like, oh, that's not Marco Stunt. That's how I saw him in AEW. I didn't watch much of his stuff in GCW, which is I guess was his home promotion. The only other thing I knew about Marco Stunt was he got in trouble for some... he and his brother got in trouble for some spots in a match involving sex toys. So that was... I feel like that probably kind of cost him a lot of TV time in AEW, even though AEW has kind of been one of those shows where... or one of those promotions where they're not afraid of doing more of the ultra-violent stuff. Case in point, like... there was one of the matches at the pay-per-view last night was like literally built around thumbtacks. You know, was it? Another guy literally set someone else on fire at the show. Which, ironically, it's not the first time that has happened in an angle involving this particular wrestler. Darby Allin. Uh, so there was some, you know, a nice kind of helping of ultra violence between the cable and thumbtack match. That's literally what the match rolling around thumbtacks was called. And then the coffin match. There was, you know, a fair like that, and that was, I think, the loudest I'd ever grimaced at the coffin match. Probably the last I'd ever grimaced at, like, something like that. That was my first time watching, like, okay, well, technically my second show I've been to where there was, like, a really kind of ultra-violent style match, but this one was a lot bloodier and a lot less toned down than the other ones were, I guess, because those ones were on TV, this one was on pay-per-view. So that's my, I think my neighbor's doing some work outside, so. I mean, it just kind of, again, goes to show, like, just even experiencing those matches in person as opposed to watching them on TV, like, you could get that kind of disconnect through TV, but when you're there and, like, everyone's just like, oh my god, that's sick, fuck, it's... Come on, one of you gotta be yellow. How much time do I got in this? Oh, damn it. I got some BBQ stuff I gotta take care of as well. So I got about 20 minutes. And don't be carried through your fears. Disappointed faces of your fears. Excuse me. Tomorrow's gonna be pain in the ass because I gotta. Like, this is gonna be my week where I work like 4 days in a row, and because like you use like a lot of voice picking equipment, unless they decide, oh, we're gonna train you on something that doesn't involve that, which probably not likely because we're heading into the Christmas season pretty soon. Like October to November. It's like our busy season to make sure the stores have their Christmas stock ready. Plus, we're still kind of also dealing with the Halloween rush. And though you're broken and defeated, your merry widow marches on. Woo. Woo. Okay. I mean, there were also some other, like there was I guess it probably shouldn't have been as much of a shock as it was, but there's really only one title change the entire show. That was for the women's title, actually, the women's world title. I didn't really. I think I kind of there were a couple of matches I kind of tuned out during because I didn't really care too much, and then there were some where it was like really good, really kind of got me invested. I think I'm kind of on the same boat as my dad, because my dad and I both kind of agreed that the opening match for the main card, which was Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus FTR, that was probably the best match on the show. I actually missed a huge chunk of the main event, unfortunately, because I need to stretch my legs because the seats at the Scotiabank Arena or the Air Canada Center, whatever you want to call it, are not comfortable, and they're not exactly set up in a way that, like, that's conducive to how long the show wound up being. It's like, I think the main show started at 2 p.m. and the show itself ended at like 8, so that's like 6 hours. No, that's exactly 6 hours actually. Like, honestly, I'm glad I'm glad I let my dad talk me into getting lunch beforehand, because we got there at about noon, and I wanted to start lining up. It's like, no, let's go get something to eat first. I'm kind of glad we did. I also got to try shake. What the fuck? Oh my god, who spiked my Dr. Pepper? Got to try Shake Shack for the first time. Wasn't bad. There's Union Station, which is right next to the arena. They have like a whole bunch of restaurants and like a mall right next to them. Like, they have this it's kind of little Japanese convenience store with all, you know, with like whole awesome selection of onigiri and all that shit. Onigiri and like sushi, and I think they actually have some energy jelly too. I had energy jelly for the first time last year, because when I was staying with my grandmother for Toronto Regionals, which I won't be able to do this year because my grandmother moved into a retirement home, so I'm either gonna have to just drive in or book a hotel in Toronto. So, I mean, you know, you can get one of those places that has like the cool like imported snacks and drinks. That's always fun. Oh my god, already over halfway through the sandwich. Trust your feelings, gotta live. I'm gonna use her. Well, this is why we saved beforehand. Worst case scenario, I could try a smoked filet sandwich instead of onions. Take my lead, I'll set you free. Follow me, set me free. Trust me and we will escape from the city. I'll make it through. Follow me. Like, even, you know, just I think the one thing I do regret about the show was not waiting until a bit later to get my tickets. Because apparently, like, I paid like $300 for my seats, and those were like up in the Those were kind of in the lower bowl. They weren't floor seats. They were in the upper part of the lower bowl for Scotiabank. So again, I still got a good kind of view of everything. Like, we were unfortunately a little too close to the stage where everyone makes their entrance, particularly right next to the firework, to some of the fireworks. Like, we didn't get hit by anything, or we didn't get hit by anything, but there was a nice little kind of nice little brief toasty. Some moments where things got a little comfortably toasty, I'll say, when they would use like the fireballs for some of the entrances. But we were really close to the fireworks display, and even when I knew the fireworks were coming, that shit was loud. Is that is blue, I think. Yeah, it's blue. Yeah. Alright. Blue. Oh, blue. What I was actually the most surprised about was, like, usually, you know, with the end of the show and everything, you're supposed to have, like, I guess the top good guy say, like, a nice kind of goodbye speech to the place and all that. Oh, there's one. But it's not marked. Damn. So that was unfortunate. Like, that was one of my favorite parts of, like, some of the other shows. Like, when we went to Forbidden Door in Toronto a couple years ago, you know, we got to hear Bryan Danielson give a nice little speech after he beat Okada. Now, granted, that was also the show where we wound up missing our train or we wound up missing the last train out because apparently Go trains end at midnight. Go train service ends at midnight, whereas TTC ends at ends at like 2 a.m. It's one of the other reasons why I was actually very appreciative for how early the show started. Like, I think that was kind of one of the few blessings I would say about the sudden schedule change Tony Khan made for the show. Is Inkay available with the DLC? It is, yes. How you doing, Matthew? Yeah, Inkay is available in the Blueberry Academy terrarium. I mean, you can also have someone trade it in, and you can breed if you want to shiny hunt it that way. That's the one thing Pokemon's been doing since they introduced the DLC. Was introducing a patch where even if you didn't buy the DLC, you can still get access to the Pokemon. But yeah, if you want to shiny hunt it for it this way, you can only really grab it in the Indigo Disc DLC. What was I saying? I did see Mega Malamar. Yes, that's actually part of the reason. Thank you very much for the likes. Whoever that was, it might have been. But yeah, I have been seeing Mega Malamar. It's part of the reason why I'm looking for a Marked Shiny. Like, once they started announcing these, you know, these new Megas, I've been looking for Marked Shinies that I want to eventually try to transfer in. So, like, for example, I have Penta here, which is my marked shiny Hawlucha. I've been looking for some other marked shinies as well. Like, Magmar and Electabuzz I've been looking for, but those are for competitive teams. Like, this is the team I'm working on right now, but... Actually, I'm gonna go back to the last box of my shiny hunting box. But yeah, Mega Malamar looks kind of cool. I'm very interested to see what its stats are gonna look like and what its ability will be. Now, the ability we won't know until we can data mine for home. Whoops. But, like, I'm very curious to know, like, especially with a couple of these new megas, like what the abilities specifically are going to be. I also do very much appreciate that I think Haxorus should have a mega, especially because, I mean, Haxorus getting a mega would be interesting for sure. It kind of seems though like a lot of the megas we've been getting announced have been either from Kalos or Kanto. Like, I know one of the big rumors I've been hearing is that we're going to get Mega Arbok. And I've been purposely, like, trying to avoid any and all leaks brought out for Legend ZA. Like, I've actually started muting, like, Legend ZA subreddits because people don't tag their fucking spoilers. It's actually worse here on TikTok, too. Because TikTok, not only do they not tag them, but, like, you get, like, 30 you don't even get, like, a 30-second warning with some of these people. It's like, hey, we're going to talk about Legend ZA leaks if you don't want to... Like, that's the one thing I appreciate about, like, when you're talking about, when you have TikTok start talking about movies or TV shows, well, they're like, hey, look, we're going to talk about something that hasn't happened, or rather talk about some leaks, some officially confirmed leaks, or some, or, you know, if we're talking about the story but you haven't watched it yet, you know, go, you know, save this video, come back, watch it afterwards. You kind of don't get that, especially when you have stuff talking about leaks in games. Sorry, very random tangent there, but it kind of seems like a lot of the... Oh, that's blue. It kind of seems like at least a lot of the megas we're getting in the base game are going to be limited, with the exception of maybe the starters. The, Totodile, for Alligator, Meganium, and Emboar, it kind of seems like a lot of our new megas are going to be limited to either Kanto or Kalos, which I do appreciate, at least that we're getting some more Colosian megas, because really the only original mega we had from Generation 6 was Diancie, and that was just an event giveaway Pokemon. I don't even think you could catch it in the base game. I think the only way you could really get the Mega Stone was through the same event where you could get Diancie. I don't know, it's been a long time since I played X and Y. Like, I think the last time I played it was, like, literally 2016. Haxorus getting a Mega would be interesting, though, I would say. I don't really... I'm not 100% sure if it would need it. But I also don't know, like, what you could really add to it besides maybe a steel typing. I mean, that's the one good thing about Megas is... Well, there's a couple of good things about Megas. You can have, like, a different typing added on, or typing taken off in the case of Mega Aggron. Or Mega Aggron, sorry. It's blue, I think. Having a good idea. I think Mold Breaker is a pretty solid ability to run. I guess even maybe giving it like Steely Spirit. Again, I think if you're gonna Mega Evolve Haxorus, I think the best thing you could do would be just to give it that Steel typing. But because like my thing is when I kind of theory craft ideas for like Megas, I don't generally give them new abilities. Or I don't invent new abilities to give them. I give them, like, established abilities, whatever. Under 10% health. So, like... So, basically, like, the starter's base abilities, where your health is, you know, where your health is below that one-third mark, it hits harder. That... Also, Guillotine is already a 30% accurate move, so... But I do like the idea of, like... Maybe you give it, like, a physical version of Berserk or something. That's an interesting idea as well. Because Berserk, if your Pokemon goes below half health, it actually gets a special attack. A Pokemon actually gets a special attack boost. Like when I was working on teams. Honestly, there's still a chance we could get a Flygon Mega. At the very least, it could be in the DLC. Now, I mean, the DLC I think is kind of a whole other can of worms, I would say. But that's... I don't know. Because, like, I obviously I pre-ordered the DLC, but that's mostly because, like, I stream this stuff, right? So, I mean, it's possible we could see a Mega Flygon get introduced. It's also possible that they're trying to keep a lot more of these Megas very close to the vest. Uh-oh. Sandwich is done. Alright, let's go ahead and make ourselves a dark sandwich. One cucumber, one pickle, 3 smoked fillets, 2 spicy herba, yeah, I think we have not really seen the last of the new Megas. I think there are still some that we're just not gonna find out about until the game launches. Like, I know one of the big theories was that the new starters are getting Megas in addition to the Kalos starters. Now, I don't think those ones are going to be locked behind ranked battles. I think it's going to be very similar to how you got the starter Mega Stones in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, where, like, after a certain point of the game, it's like, okay, we think you're ready for this. We're going to give you the Mega Stone for the starter you chose. It's also gonna very heavily depend on, like, what Pokemon are gonna be available in Lumia City. So that the Nidoking and Nidoqueen would need their own. I mean, realistically, every single there's only a handful of Pokemon left from the Kanto region that haven't either gotten an evolution, a Mega Evolution, or a regional variant. Or I guess a Gigantamax form as well. So, I mean, it's entirely possible. It's entirely possible that Nidoqueen and Nidoking both get Megas. And again, it just kind of makes sense. Either both of them get a Mega, or neither of them do. Because they were also kind of the precursor to Pokemon actually getting, you know, genders, right? Because I think in the original red, green, blue, and yellow, there actually just wasn't space to put that in. But then again, red, even just red and even just the original red and green were not very well optimized. Like I don't even think in the original red and green you could get the original 150 Pokemon. I think there was still a lot of the Pokedex that was missing, and it was just completely broken. Because I know blue version, when it originally released in Japan, was essentially like a patched version of red and green. And then the template for blue was what was brought over to North America, or was brought over to the rest of the world. I shouldn't say North America, because, you know, you can play Pokemon in England too. But the version of blue that was brought around, the Japanese version of blue was what? Hi, Matthew. Thanks for popping by, and thank you very much for the shiny luck. I appreciate it. What was I gonna say? Yeah, the version of red and blue we got in the rest of the world was based off of the Japanese version of blue, and then eventually yellow was made to try to be a little closer to the anime. We got any yellow? Now, from what I remember, there's actually a lot of stuff that had to be cut out of gold and silver just to I don't even remember what I'm about. I think that's, yeah, it's still blue. Alright. Better slack off here. I guess because nothing else. There's no like there's no dark types that could spawn here. I am also a little more interested to see if like, again, we're probably getting some other megas in the base game that have not been revealed yet, and probably won't be revealed until the game actually launches. That's just kind of how it's been, where, like, with regional variants specifically, there were, or even Gigantamax forms, and those were a thing. those weren't really revealed in trailers. Those were kind of shown after the fact. Those kind of shown, like, those kind of revealed as you played through the game, or as people started making videos. Oh god, that just reminds me, like, the data mining stuff. That's gonna, I think that's, no, that's blue. Because we're getting dangerously close to data mining time. Like, thankfully nobody's been able to get their hands on one of the demo copies of the game. Because they were, I know at Worlds and, like, a lot of events over the last few months, there have been, like, you know, playable demos available. And at the very least, at Worlds, there was a playable demo available.
That's right.
Because a buddy of mine was one of the content creators that got invited. Well, I think he had to actually apply to be brought in, but you know, he got to actually get his hands on the demo. I've been trying to kind of go in as blind as possible. Again, very difficult when people don't tag their fucking spoilers. Yeah, TikTok and Reddit are like just the worst at not tagging your spoilers. Especially since the algorithm will just recommend it, because like, oh, you're into this, so we'll give you this. And then, again, just... It was one of the things I actually really enjoyed about Twitter back when I was still using my Twitter regularly. I just have one now for, well, okay, I nuked my original Twitter. And I brought it back as a private page just so I could get, like, updates from creators of mine creator friends or whatever, or creators I follow, who, didn't want to switch over to Blue Sky. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, no, Twitter, that was the one thing I appreciate about them, was like, I think even now, you can still ban certain keywords from showing up on your timeline. I'm grateful that's one of the few things Musk hasn't fucked up. And I mean few, like, I think it's like the only thing, realistically. I might have, and I just didn't realize it. I just don't use Twitter at all anymore. Again, I still have my private account, but I don't post to it. I don't post to it because, like, I follow some people, but I said it's like nobody can follow me. Oh, that's blue. You close your eyes, and I hope that this is just imagination. We're out of time, 'cause this is thriller night. Strength against the beast with all the eyes down. Okay, so I can see pretty well. This is oh, there's one. Not marked though. Son of a bitch. Alright, we're just gonna use a football here. I just say this right now, like, a lot of the, actually, that's kind of the one thing I very appreciate, like, a lot of the old Michael Jackson stuff, just, a lot of the really kind of funky guitar riffs, they managed to put together. Like, just a, like, I know everyone talks about, like, you know, Eddie Van Halen doing the guitar solo for Beat It, or even just the main riff for Beat It as well. Well, okay. I think, technically, Michael Jackson did kind of get the melody for those, because, like, supposedly, he would actually do, like, a cappella versions, where he would just kind of sing the instruments, sing how he wanted the instruments to sound on like a tape or something, and he'd give it to his producers, like, this is kind of what I'm thinking. Like, I think the solo that was purely Eddie Van Halen, but like the that was literally how Michael Jackson came up with that. He would just kind of sing the instrument parts, or how he was thinking the instrument parts would we'd want them to sound. He basically, like, I guess kind of similarly to how Charlie Puth admits he would write like a lot of his songs, but he would just, except, you know, obviously this before smartphones and voice notes and all that shit, so you'd have to have like a tape recorder nearby or something. Sack. At some point, I do still have a bunch of eggs I need to hatch for like the other two Paldean Tauros forms and Fione. Honestly, God, I think Scarlet and Violet made me just so disillusioned with Masuda method hunting. I don't even want to go back to Sword and Shield and Masuda hunt that way. Just to check. Yeah, it's blue. It can be a little harder to tell when they're further off. Like the blue kind of blends in with the water. That's blue. That's blue. These are all blue. I'm gonna get rid of this stupid brawler. Actually, even stupider, Smeargle. Alright. There's a good chance that that second one might be the only one I get for this sandwich. I think the one thing I regret also is I just didn't do enough, I wish I could have done some more of those Ruinous Treasure raids, because those are, like, really good for farming Herba Mystica. Blue. Wait, is that? No, that's blue. Yeah, it's blue. Down at the hands of the likes of you because we're so much better. Let's go, just 1 on 2. Yeah, if my voice wasn't just absolutely fucked from the show, I'd probably sing a lot more to this. Oh, that's blue. Just come back, new world, I will always be twice the gem that you are. I am new. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Is that a shiny pop? No, it's not a shiny pop eel. The one good thing also about running around like this is getting these feathers is actually good for like fine-tuning EVs for fuck's sake. I walked right into that. Okay, well. There we go. That was all I needed to do. This is who I am, and if you think you can stop me, then you'll need to think again. Cause I have a feeling that I am everywhere. I won't let you hurt my plan. I won't let you hurt my plans. Like, ideally, this is kind of the best place to really look. This is where this would be the area where I'd have like the best odds at finding the shiny. Because of the outbreak, but also doesn't matter as much because basically anywhere over the water, like most, if not all, the spawns will be Inkay. You know, there's gonna be the occasional spot where like a Tentacool or Tentacruel has to spawn. But for the most part, it's Calamari. Ooh. No, that's blue. Yeah, I think those are all blue. Hey. Hmm. 8 minutes. No, that's a velocity. So blue. Wait, it was just. I was thinking of the show last night. There was like legitimately a point where we were all chanting murder. That's. Oh my god. It was during the coffin match. I think there was a point where no, it was to the point involving a plastic bag. I don't want to go too much into it, but anything? Anyone? Nope. Okay. Again, just like so, just saw the funny chants that went on. Like apparently, not only is Christian the father of every person in attendance at Toronto, at the person in attendance that night, but Pope was technically also our uncle. Yeah, no, there's a good chance we're just not. I think it took me a couple, but I think this is like my fourth. I'm actually gonna check my box real quick. Oh my Inkay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gotten at least 5 shiny Inkay. None of them have been shiny yet. I do eventually want to try to shiny hunt for marked Vulpix, but or Alolan Vulpix, I should clarify. But I think Alolan Vulpix might be locked to Scarlet. Well, I mean, luckily I have Scarlet on me, but I have Scarlet on this Switch, but. I gotta remember on Thursday to pick up my codes. I gotta go to my local EB Games, or I think it's like GameStop, but every GameStop in Canada is supposed to rebrand it as an EB Games. Whoops. it's blue. I should check my Humble Bundle stuff too at some point, but it's probably fine. Yeah, one thing I was doing a lot during my week off was actually playing a lot of Power Wash Simulator, just because it kind of felt like. I mean, I got it a couple of weeks ago after I got my first Twitch payout in like 2 years. It wasn't much, but I just figured, you know what, I at least want to get this specific game, because I wanted to get it for a while, and it just seemed like something that'd be fun to just play on my days off, just to kind of decompress a little. Just something, I don't know, it's one of those oddly satisfying things, you know? It's like, that's actually a really huge chunk of my my TikTok FYP is. It's just like oddly satisfying videos, or like what is it? Or like horse hoof trimming videos, cow hoof trimming videos, those kind of things. Okay, 30 seconds, 40 seconds. It's also kind of cool just going back and looking at the results from Pittsburgh regionals. Saw Chuck across the fourth actually won Pittsburgh regions. I'm actually curious to see what his team was, because a lot of the parts of the team I'm currently working with was actually based on his Toronto team. It's like you have the go back here to show it, kind of have Sneasler, you have well, it's only 3 parts really. There's a version that does use Ursaluna Blood Moon. I don't know, I'm not a super big fan of it, but yeah, so there's like 2 versions of it. There's one with Ursaluna Blood Moon and one with Archaladon. Kind of running alongside. Baxcalibur and Whimsicott. I'm debating whether or not to swap Whimsicott out, but I don't know what I could put there in its place. Because, like, realistically, I don't think this team is as reliant on speed control, and I think the things I said when I was drunk, I didn't mean to call you that. I can't remember what was said or what you threw at me. Please tell me why. My car is in the front yard, and I'm sleeping with my clothes on. Alright, let's just... I'm gonna do one more sandwich. I think I'm gonna call it a night early, just because I gotta work in the morning. I got some other stuff I need to get done before then. So we'll do one more sandwich. I am my own worst enemy. 'Cause every now and then I kick the living shit out of me. Smoke alarm is going off and there's a cigarette still burning. Please tell me why. The car is in the barnyard and I'm sleeping with the clothes on. Came through the window last night. And thank you very much again for the likes, Liam. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for sharing, Liam. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And I'm sleeping with my clothes on. I came in through the window last night. It's no surprise to me, I am my worst enemy. Every now and then I take the living shit out of me. Yeah, that's one thing I really hate about this new Android update. The battery fucking just right down the shitter. Alright. Last run to check. But once this sandwich is done, I think I'm just gonna call it a night. Because I am a little bit tired. So we're gonna be back on Thursday night, gonna be doing some more Pokemon Stadium. Now that we finally unlocked the round 2 mode. This is gonna be like completely new territory for me, because I don't think I think I might have mentioned this when I'd done my when I'd kind of gotten through Prime Cup last Stadium stream, but I never unlocked round 2 before this, so I am just actually supposedly one of the cups has just like a Pokemon that should not be possible to bring. That's not something I'm looking forward to. Here's the funny thing too, Pokemon Stadium is actually... There are actually 2 versions of Pokemon Stadium in... Sorry, no. How do I put this? The original Pokemon Stadium actually had 2 releases in Japan. There was kind of a broken one that had like a small amount of the initial Kanto Pokedex. Didn't even have the whole Kanto Dex. The sequel is actually what eventually got brought over to the rest of the world. So the sequel is... And then the sequel to that was what we got as Pokemon Stadium 2. Which with the Gold and Silver Pokedex available. Or the Johto Dex available. No, that's blue. Let's get this going. Blue. I think that's blue as well. Yeah, that's blue. No, that's blue. Alright. Table back up. Alright. What do you mean I can't ride him here? Actually, technically I'm running the 7 Shiny Inkay, but one of them I accidentally knocked out. It wasn't marked anyways, but... Because normally I'll just, my immediate reaction is to just hit the X button to access the Pokeball menu real quick, but for whatever reason, I somehow slipped and clicked, because I had my Golden Go out front. I accidentally used, not good as gold, Make It Rain. And the funnier thing was, like, it hit a crit too. The crit was not gonna matter, but it was like, oh, well. Because, fun fact, when your Pokemon have, like, a high friendship value in the main game, they're actually more likely to use crits. They're actually more likely to land crits. They're also more likely to dodge just everything. Hell, they can even heal their own status conditions. Oh, that's blue. Blue. Oh, I think those are all blue. Yeah, those are all blue. Ah, shit. This was all I guess this is from the start. So I'm gonna have to, I've got a tournament this week, I'm gonna have to just kind of go over the results from, again, the only thing I really know is that, I chuck across one tournament in Pittsburgh this weekend. So, I'm very interested to see what kind of team you rank. I know, I think technically, he tends to be one of those players that runs, like, a lot of, like, seems to run very consistent teams. Like, very consistent hyper offense, I feel like, but... Still think, actually, I'm probably better off running Galadon. Probably run black. Probably run mill your black prior in place of Whimsicott, but it's tough to say. Like, the biggest problem my team's been having has been Alolan Ninetales teams. And with the Alolan Ninetales teams, and people have been using Marco Silva's team that he won LAIC with last year. I think it was LAIC. It was the team he brought to second place at Toronto Regionals last year as well. So the Porygon to Charizard Jump Up team. I think it was. I can't remember what it was. Hisuian Ursaluna, Jumpluff, Porygon 2, Charizard, Torkoal. Probably the last one on the team. I actually think Murkrow might be better to bring on that team instead of Whimsicott. I'm gonna do some testing on that with Murkrow instead of Whimsicott, but it also kind of means I'm losing my There's not really much of a fantasy core on the team if I'm bringing Ursaluna Blood Moon instead of Archaladon. And there really wasn't much of a Firewater Grass core to begin with there, so. Like, if I had room to put something like, say, there was room where I could put it in, just go full-blown, like, what is Toronto, what, the Jump Across Marcus Dion Toronto team was. I'd go with that, where it was, it was Ursaluna, Blood Moon, Annihilate, Sneasler, Indeedee, male Indeedee, Volcarona. The last Pokemon was... Oh, Tyranitar. Because with Tyranitar, you know, you get some form of weather control. If I lose it all, slip and fall, I will never look away. If I lose it all, lose it all, lose it all. If I lose it all outside the wall, if I die another day, I don't want anything, I'm just here to tell. My problem is there's some Pokemon, like, I don't know how comfortable I am with using them. Like, Goldengo is something that really could do, like, really well in this meta. Just because, like, it's a Pokemon that can hold its own in, like, the higher powered metas, especially. Like, just being able to soak up non-damaging status moves. Well, I mean, not necessarily like that, but you know what I mean. Sycophants and velvet sofas, lavish mansions, vintage wines. I am so much more than royals. Touch your chain and makes your eyes. If it feels good, tastes good, must be mine. Heroes always get remembered, but you know legends never die. And if you don't know now, you'll know. All dressed up and naked, I see what's mine and take it. Oh yeah, the crown, so close I can taste it. I see what's mine and take it. Oh yeah, mortal kings are ruling, shackled, welcome to the world of fun. Wires settle into sockets, flip the switch and watch them run. Oh yeah. Oh, finders, keepers, losers, reapers. I'm taking back the crown. All dressed up and naked. See what's mine and take it. Oh yeah, the crown. So close I can taste it. See what's mine and take it. The other Pokemon I was considering putting on this team was Alolan Ninetales, which I could easily probably put Whimsicott in. I could easily put in the Whimsicott slot, still keep my. Actually, that is a good idea. I keep the Focus Sash on Alolan Ninetales, and I just give it Protect and or even just forego Protect for like Freeze Dry or Weather Ball. And then keep Aurora Veil. I mean, there's a big risk with that, unfortunately, because with Aurora Veil, if they predict you to go for it, and they have like a weather setter, like whether they have like Torkoal or Politoed or fucking Tyranitar, or any of those in the back, that could be bad. It really comes down to either going between Rain Dance Murkrow with, what's the move? Rain Dance Murkrow with Hurricane, because that's something I brought, especially to Toronto. It did me some good. Oh, as good as it could. Or, if I bring Murkrow, that can also work very well alongside our Chaladon. I don't have to worry about burning through my, my Power Herb right away. But then the problem is it kind of reduces the amount of fire damage my Volcarona could do. Now, realistically, the Volcarona is strictly there for debuffs, because it has access to... It's strictly there for disruption, so it's got access to Rage Powder and Flame Body. I got a Cobra Cloak on it, so it can... So the idea is it's kind of there to help sponge hits a little better from Sneasler, and also potentially, you know, with Flame Body, there's that chance to burn. Right now I run Overheat, just because that's just the highest damaging fire move I could put on it without resorting to Fire Blast. Which, I mean, Fire Blast is one of those moves in VGC where really people will only use it if it's the only fire move that a Pokemon can have access to. Because you're better off for stuff like Heat Wave or Flamethrower at that point. Even Overheat, again, despite the fact that it'll cut your special attack in half every time you use it, it's still more accurate, and I think it hits almost just as hard. I think it hits almost as hard. Finders, keepers, losers, reckless. In the end of eras, ice is melted back to life. Done my time and served my sentence. Up and watch me die. It feels good, tastes good, must be mine. Honesty's dictated, might see it goes tonight. All dressed up and naked, I see what's mine and take it. Oh, yeah, I'm proud. So close I can taste it. See what's mine to take it. The fuck? Oh. You put that Tentacruel there. Or that Tentacool there. Jesus. Fancy gold sofas, lavish mansions, vintage wines. I am so much more than royals. Snatch your chain and mace your eyes. If it feels good, tastes good, must be mine. Heroes always can remember, no legends never die. But if you don't know now, you'll know. Back to the crowd, all dressed up and naked. See what's mine, take it. welcome to my world of fun. Liars settle into sockets with the switch and watch them run. Oh, yeah. Finders, keepers, losers, reapers. Taking back, taking back. I'm just still can make it. Blue crown. I think that's it. No, that's blue. Damn it. Doesn't look like we're gonna get a marked one today. That's fine. Alright, one thing I gotta remember is I gotta 4.5 minutes. Yeah, like I said, once this sandwich is done, I'm calling it a night. And like once we get to yeah, make myself a sandwich also when I'm done here, because I gotta eat before I take my meds. So yeah, like I don't know if I really need speed control with this team. The worst case scenario, I could also go for Icy Wind instead of. I'm gonna go for Icy Wind instead of Weather Ball, and keep that level of speed control I still wanted, but also have Fairy type coverage, an ounce of damage, and then the. And I think actually going for a low and Ninetales instead might be a little easier. Again, I'm still gonna have trouble against Purple, but I have to make some modifications to my team on Showdown later, but I'll fix that. I mean, even when I was running the QRM team at Vancouver Regionals, like Alolan Ninetales saved my bacon a lot on that team. Just because the damage mitigation I get from Aurora Veil. Minute and a half left. I think we're getting single one on this sandwich. Those are all blue. I have an Inkay, and it is so blue. Yeah, I mean we got two off of this. It's not the worst thing in the world. Besides, I saved before I made the sandwich anyway, so I can just easily back out and not lose the herba. It's like I wouldn't have even taken anything out of the Inkay population. Is that? Yeah, I think that's blue. Yeah, it's blue. Alright, sandwich is done. Alright, well. That's gonna be it for us for tonight, like I said. Push the button. We'll be back on Thursday, gonna be playing Pokemon Stadium. So, let's go find someone to send the love over to on the Twitch side of things while we're figuring this out. But thank you all so much for joining in. If you would like to follow on social media or join our awesome Discord community, links as always are in the chat off to the side or in my bio if you're watching on TikTok. We're gonna go send the love over to my buddy Sonic MTD. He's playing Abiotic Factor. I have no idea what that is, but we'll go send the love over his way because he's been having a rough time of things. So we're gonna go send him some love. And until next time, I'm Kira Kennedy. Thank y'all so much for joining in, and I will see y'all on Thursday. Peace.